Hey guys, welcome to Treadmill Review Guru. Today we're taking a look at the LifeSpan R5i Recumbent bike. As you can see, this is a very comfortable bike that's easy to get on and off. You've got a nice step-through design here. So you just step across that bottom bar and sit back. It's very easy to use. It's good for people with mobility issues, or maybe they're looking to just get some joint mobility in there. Another thing that we really like about this bike is it has the elevated armrests, you'll notice right here, so that as you sit, it keeps your spine in alignment and provides good lumbar support. And it also has heart rate sensors there right on those elevated armrests. Another nice thing about this bike, it doesn't require electricity. See, no plug, which is really nice. So you can put it anywhere and you don't have to worry about that plug dangling either in front of or behind the bike. As you start to pedal, this LCD screen is battery powered and it will just turn on. And then it kind of is supported by the pedal motion so that those batteries have an extended life. So that's really nice. This bike is by LifeSpan, and LifeSpan covers it with a 10-year frame warranty. It's 5 years on parts and 1 year on labor. Let's take a look at the construction on the LifeSpan R5i Recumbent bike. So as you can see, it has a steel frame down under here that supports the weight of the bike. It also has a steel upright that holds that console. And you have leveling stabilizers at the front and the back to make sure that you've got good balance on the bike. One thing you will notice is that you do have front transport wheels up here at the top. So to move this bike, you just hold it at the back, lift, and you can roll it when you engage those wheels. It is heavy. The bike itself weighs about 146 pounds, which isn't terrible, but it's a bit of weight to lift. So we do recommend, when possible, putting it where you plan to use it and leave it there. But one great thing about this bike, it has a 400-pound weight capacity. So it's a great bike for users of all sizes. And as you can see, you've got a nice step-through frame right here. So I measured this. To the top of this bar is less than 3 inches. So it's a real easy step across and sit back down right here on the seat. To the height of this seat right here is about 23 inches. So that's pretty good, and it's just easy to sit back on there. And then, like I mentioned, you've got your nice elevated kind of captain's chairs armrests, which keep your spine in alignment and keep that body position upright. The seat itself is about 17 inches wide, only about 10 inches deep, which encourages you to sit upright. So you're gonna have a hard time slouching on this because you'll slouch off the seat. But when you're riding a recumbent bike, you wanna keep that spine straight up and down. The seat is padded, so it's very comfortable, and you do have this vented backrest, so you don't get all sweaty while you're riding. Another thing that I like about this bike is once you're seated, you've got the option of just resting your arms right there on the armrests. It has heart rate sensors that just are naturally underneath the palm of your hand, so you can put those there. Or you do have this wraparound bar here at the front if you'd like to sit just a little bit closer and rest your arms on that bar. So you'll notice down in here, you've got an 18-pound flywheel. So that's pretty good weight on a bike, and this does have a nice smooth pedal motion. And you'll notice that the flywheel is tucked inside that main frame, so it's protected from dust and debris and stuff like that. You also have 16 resistance levels. So it really gives you some pretty good resistance, and the resistance for the most part is pretty quiet. The pedals are nice and flat. You'll notice they work with pretty much any athletic shoe, and they do have an adjustable strap here along the top. You can cinch it down or just kind of leave it loose. And the pedals are ergonomic. So they're tilted just enough to keep your ankles and knees in alignment so that you don't get any ankle tension while riding. So in general, this is a really well-constructed bike. I love the 400-pound weight capacity and the option to just step through and sit back down, nice and comfortable on that. So let's take a look at the console real quick. As I mentioned, as soon as you start to pedal, that console powers up, which is really nice. And you've got 34 preloaded workouts on here. So up here, you have several different workouts for heart rate. So if you have a heart rate sensor, it will sync with the LifeSpan console, and also you have your heart rate sensors right here in those upright handlebars. You also have several healthy living programs. You've got 5 of these, and then sports training. I think there's a few more, maybe 7 sports training, and then a couple weight loss programs. And what it gives you is a graph display that kind of lets you know where you're going up and down. You have speed, calories, and RPM on the left, target distance and the watts on the right, which is a measurement of how much power you're producing as you pedal. And then on the bottom, it has a clock that counts down. So down here in the console, you can see we've got the green start stop button, which is nice, and then enter you use to select your program. There are quick change buttons for your resistance 4, 8, 12, and 16, but then there's also an up and down button as you need to target those intermediate levels. You can see right here in the front, you have your a little yellow tablet holder that you can put a tablet or a phone there. It might block your screen just a little bit, but it is handy to just have while you ride. And let's say you want to watch your own Netflix program or whatever, the console will continue to work in the background as you pedal to keep track of all your metrics and stuff for you. This nice front horizontal bar makes it really easy to lean forward and grab as you adjust, and then you can recline again against that vented backrest. You'll notice down here there's a little cutout. You could take a water bottle and stick it right there. Just kind of rests on the top of that flywheel, and it's an easy reach when you're pedaling on the bike. Okay, let's take a look at the functionality of the LifeSpan R5i bike. So as I mentioned, you've got an easy step-through design. One thing to note is the front of this bar. You'll see how the front of this bar and the front of the flywheel cover, you've only got a lot, like just shy of 10 inches. So 9.5 inches, which is a little bit narrow, but most people should be able to make that step through pretty easy. And then your step through height, as I mentioned, is less than 3 inches. The height to the top of the saddle is about 23 inches, so it's really comfortable. The pedals are ergonomic, so you can put your feet in, and then there's a lot of adjustment points on this bike, which is really nice. You cannot change the height of the saddle, but you can change how far it is from the front of those pedals all the way to the back. So lots of adjustment there, and it does kind of angle down a little bit as you move forward, probably for smaller riders. And then one other thing that this bike has is you'll notice there's a lever here at the back, and I can actually adjust the angle of that vented backrest, which is really nice. So you can get just a little more angle behind you if you would like it while you're exercising. And when you adjust it, those handles stay in position just to keep that spine upright. So let me get this back to where it works for me. One thing I love about these handles is you do have your heart rate sensors right here, which will put your heart rate right up on the console. This is Bluetooth enabled, but it doesn't come with a chest strap. So you have to have your own chest strap. But if you have a Bluetooth enabled chest strap, you can sync it with the console, which is really nice. As I mentioned, you have an 18-pound flywheel that's tucked inside this plastic housing right here to keep it protected and away from dust and dirt and stuff like that. And you've got 16 digital resistance levels. So as I pedal, you can hear a very slight little whir, but really not much. And if I increase my resistance, right now we're at 0. Let's go to 8. And we'll jump to 12. And then even 16. You can see how it gets harder to pedal, but it's not any noisier. So that's really nice, is the resistance is practically silent. This is a great bike to tuck behind a couch. You can use it to watch the news, watch TV. You can even read a book. You've got a nice little book or tablet holder right here. So I'm going to drop this back down. But the adjustment in between your resistance is almost instantaneous, and there's no sound, which is really nice. You do have your front and rear stabilizers, which kind of lift the bike. You can see how the bike is elevated ever so slightly on the backside, just to make it comfortable as you're sitting. And the pedals will support any athletic shoe. So you don't need any sort of specific shoe for these. You can just slip right in and adjust that strap as you need to. So there's a lot of great functionality on this bike. The fact that you don't need electricity is really nice. You can adjust the seat forward and back and adjust that vented backrest. So it's a comfortable, really nice recumbent bike with a very heavy weight capacity. It will support up to 400 pounds. So the footprint on this bike, it's about 45 inches tall. It's about 70 inches long, and it's only about 28 inches wide, which is the outside of these handles. So it does take up a bit of a footprint, but it's not nearly as large as some of the other recumbent bikes we've seen. And like I mentioned earlier, the weight of the bike is about 146 pounds. As you can see, the LifeSpan R5i is a really good recumbent bike. So there's several pros and cons about this bike, and one of my favorite ones is just the easy step-through design with that nice saddle height, so you can just sit back nice and easy. It does have the padded seat, and this seat is actually quite padded. It's really pretty comfortable, and your vented backrest is nice. The upright armchair hand position also keeps your spine in alignment, and it's a very natural way to rest your arms while you're riding. And then you do also have this horseshoe bar that's up here at the front. If you want to hold on while you adjust your screen or whatever, that's nice too. Another pro about this bike, doesn't require electricity, which is really nice. You can place it anywhere in your room, and as soon as you start to pedal, that LCD screen will light up. You also have an 18-pound flywheel and 16 digital resistance levels, which are relatively quiet. So you can use this bike in a shared space. You could use it while you're watching the news, reading a book, whatever. The step over height right here is less than 2 inches, so that's really nice. And this is great for people who want to sit while exercising or looking for active recovery, maybe some joint rehabilitation, just kind of nice, smooth rotation as you sit to exercise, which people really like. There are a few negatives to the bike. This does not have the option of a subscription. It's not a touch screen. There's no video content. So if you like subscription content with updated classes and stuff like that, this doesn't offer it. But if you're looking for something very simple and easy to use, this is perfect. Also, you can move it, and it does have those front transport wheels. We're really impressed with the fact that it supports a 400-pound user weight, but it does weigh close to 150 pounds. So lifting it and engaging those wheels does take just a bit of upper body strength. So we recommend that you place it where you plan to use it. To check current pricing on this bike, make sure and click the link below. And if you'd like to read our detailed written review, check us out at treadmillreviewguru.com. Also, if you liked our video, make sure and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.